Our history is like two iconic breaking ground, making history in separate ways.
Now I already gave you the keys to the game, all of fame, and you know the name. Rev Run CMN's been getting millions, ain't none changed, but the flow's the same. Wrist on frozen, flow so chosen, school so old, but the OG coasting. New York toasting, LA slowsing, G's in the D and the ballers in Boston. Hollers to Nostrin, parties I host them. Ball to a fall, so you know it's gon' coast them. Run gon' post them, rip them up, toast them. Out to the can, cause they rubbish and I roast them. Flow like the
What up, dope party people? What it do? Welcome to another edition of Tipi, the Interesting Parties, where we tell some pretty interesting stories about some pretty interesting people and all the interesting stuff that they do. My name is Zany. Friends call me Swag. I'm joined by my brother and partner in crime, Big Osko. What up, dog?
What up, dog?
Chilling. So, let's jump right into it, man. I think my mouth dropped to the ground when I saw my baby. That's my boo-boo, my baby, my boo-boo, Dawn from In Vogue, had been sleeping in her car, she said, for the last 3 years. I mean, how does that happen?
Hey, man, it's called life. It's called life.
Okay. All right. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, dude, it's bug because you figure this was in Vogue royalty. You know what I'm saying? And for her to be out there in the car for she said she actually reached out to a few folks when she hit, she went through some trials and folks just really didn't come through. And she decided to just, all right, let me take a step and live out of my van and do my thing. And it worked for her, according to her. You know what I'm saying?
When she talked about the how it ended up, I guess she had fallen on hard times. The group wasn't doing too well. And her ex-manager, and here's the interesting part about that. Her ex-manager was a member of Tony.
Right.
Because him and her and some other guy, they formed a side group. I forgot what it's called.
What was it? Raphael Sadiq and Ali Shaheed Muhammad from Tribe Called Quest.
There you go. And they formed a side group. And so it popped up for a little while. But then it wasn't popping, I guess. And he called her and he said, "Where are you? What are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I'm in New York." And he said, "You need to come back to LA so we can get things back together, start to get some work and start things up again." And so she did. And I guess the way she explained it, he put her up at a hotel for a little while. Let's take a look.
You guys, for the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out. If you would have said to me while I was in Vogue, you're going to be living in your car one day, I'd be like, huh? It's not easy by any means. Every day I have to take my bed down in the back. If it rains, oh my God, I've had problems.
He put her up in a hotel for a little while and she was searching for an apartment. Is that it? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, pretty much.
He kept saying, "Nah, that's not good enough. No, that's not good enough." Meanwhile, he's spending for this hotel. And she felt bad about it. And so she got in her car one day trying to find an apartment or whatever and just never got out of her car. So she had been in her car. She said she had stayed with her mom for a little while. That's not going to last for very long.
Exactly.
It's hard to imagine, man. I've heard something about it, though, that her ex-husband, a guy named Andre Allen, is a sports figure?
I don't think so. Well, maybe.
After he saw this, he reached out to her and offered her a job at, I don't know, his law firm or his cleaning company or something like that. But can you imagine Dawn?
Yeah.
From In Vogue showing up to clean your house, man. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's deep, but just to see, that sister going through that, whatever it was she was going through, whoever she reached out to, all the people that contributed to the process. Now it's just to hear it. It's like, wow.
3
years of living out your whip. That's a lot. You know what I'm
saying? And I guess the interesting part to me is that En Vogue is still doing gigs unless she's not part of the group anymore. Is that what this is? She's just not part of the group anymore?
I think, well, she just regrouped. Well, she just came back and they all got back together.
Okay.
At like a reunion type demo. But I think prior to that, they were kind of estranged, man. There was a lot going on within the group. And I think that, that's why she branched off and went over with Raphael Sadiq and Lucy Pearl to do a thing, because it was just a lot of strain. But not they just regrouped.
You gotta just admit it. Sometimes, most of the times, things just go haywire with girl groups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially guys too.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not
guys too. Yeah.
Guys don't do it too, but especially with girls you date, eventually they're gonna fall out. Escape. Danity Kane.
Oh yeah.
We can keep going, dog. The list goes on, and sometimes they get it.
The Supreme stuff. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Man. And so they can't keep it going. It's hard to sustain it, but the Spice Girls, but and once that happens, it's hard, man. It's hard to get it back together.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Dawn though, hoping her and her crew can get it together and they could get back and start doing shows again. Man, I remember I seen them here in Detroit at Amphitheater out there. They were amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, man,
so you getting that gig money, girl. Save that money. Get your own apartment. Be waiting for nobody to do something for you. Get your own thing. Shout out Dawn. Tipi. The interesting part is, hey, if you guys like the content, man, go ahead and hit that like button, smash on that subscription button. Let's get something popping. And we got to send a big shout out to our sponsor. He's back. The Kiss Allen Experience Vodka. You see, I got me an ice cold cocktail right here. Little something for the people. Woo! Let me see.
Hey.
That's smooth. You know what I do? Because I'm trying to keep my carbs and my sugar down. So I do that Kiss Allen's vodka, which is easy, man. It goes down so easy.
Oh, yeah.
A little splash of lime in there and some Sprite Zero.
Nice.
No carbs, no calories, no sugar. So that's just one refreshing way, especially with the spring and summertime coming up, to keep it together, baby. Keep it together.
Oh, yeah.
Kiss Allen Experience Vodka at the Kiss Allen Experience on all social media platforms. You can find out how to get it for yourself. All right. At first, I thought it was a hoax. At first, I thought it was AI.
I think I know you're going with this one. Let's get it.
At first, I thought they tried to hoodwink me. They tried to bamboozle me.
Oh, yeah.
But his manager actually came out and confirmed that, yes, it is indeed R. Kelly.
Man,
calling from prison, doing his version of Chris Brown's Residual. Residuals remix. And I was like, this can't be real because it sounds too good.
Man, listen.
Have you listened to it at all?
Man, I've listened to that joint about 1 million times, bro. And I was back. Well, I ain't left. If you listen to Residuals, the Chris Brown version, it sounds like R. Kelly wrote that. And I think that when he's doing the remix, he's actually sending shots at CB and his group because he probably wrote that song.
Everybody. You know? I mean, everybody. He so let's go back a little bit. Chris Brown's Grammy award-winning track, Residuals. Here, I'm gonna play a little bit of it for you.
Like thinking about it, I swear that it's wearing me down. No, but tell me, who's getting all of mine? Who's getting all of mine? Residuals.
It's a good track, right? And it's been out there for a while. It's been out there for a while, and they just picked up a Grammy for it. But what happened recently was R&B singers from all over just started inserting their own verse in there. They just started inserting their own verse. So and then they would record it and post it. So it was like the Residuals challenge. You had it. Tank did.
Which didn't do it justice.
Bobby Valentino, I want to say, did one. Mac Wiles did one. I'm trying to think. I haven't heard Trey Songz come out.
No, Trey Songz, yeah.
I haven't heard Jacquees come out and do nothing.
Nah, and they won't.
But you had these artists kind of really prolonging the life of the song because they was doing their verses, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kales dropped this. Check it out.
First, I wanna thank my fans for being a realist. Now let's get down to business on this breezy remix. Had to make this phone call just to let you know you ain't shit. It's questions on my mind. It's questions on my mind. Tell me who's getting all my checks? Where's my money at? Who gave you 34 years? Who made you billions of dollars? Who put the R in the R and it's sweating, it's killing me and myself making me all of damn it. Tell me who's getting all of mine? Who's getting all of mine? Residuals.
Yeah. Seriously, bro. Seriously. Fire.
Oh, man,
Fire.
Through the phone.
Who does that?
Smashed it, but he flipped it. So the premise of Breezy's song is, you know, he broke up with this girl. They're not getting back together, but listen, honey, I can't stop thinking about you. But more than that, who's getting all that loving that you was giving me?
Yes.
But you teach him them tricks that I taught you. Don't you give him my nickname. Who's getting all my residuals? Well, Kales flipped it. It's like,
said, really, who's getting all my residuals? Who's cutting the check? And who's that check going to?
Y'all locked me up, but y'all still playing my music.
Man.
Some ass cap, somebody getting some money in it.
Somebody getting something.
It ain't me.
Man.
Oh, Lord, this joint.
Dude, listen. Only Kales, bro.
If Kales can do that from jail, I mean, can he do just a whole project?
I think he tried when he first went to prison.
Okay.
He tried to put out something, and it didn't sound as eloquent as he did with the residual remix.
Right.
But dude, it's R. Kelly. You give him 5 minutes, you give him a prison cell and some styrofoam, and that dude will drop a #1 joint across the board. And it's if the industry allows it to play out.
Right.
That it will actually blow up.
If they allow something to happen, that's where it has to go to. I mean, a lot of people don't know about Kales. Kales wrote #1 songs for everybody. Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Celine Dion.
Yes. Pink. Who else? Man, we go down the line, dude.
Plenty of songs for Gerald Levert. Let's not forget.
Oh, yeah.
The Isley Brothers.
Yes.
Dude, the guy is a savant. He's a genius when it comes to songwriting, song structure, and we all know he can sing.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it does now. None of that excuses what he's been accused of, and
absolutely
the fact
not.
that he's been convicted of. None of that excuses.
Absolutely not.
Nobody's taking that. You know, nobody's siding with Kales against his victims. Not in even the slightest. But it is nice to hear him. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to hear it because there's this taboo around listening to R. Kelly music, and me being in radio, we had to take it off the air. You know what I mean? So there's definitely a taboo about listening to or appreciating his music. But when ain't nobody looking, go ahead, play the residual.
Man.
Go ahead.
No, listen.
Nobody looking, go ahead, play that residual. Go ahead, play that.
I mean, musically, you could be a fan. Musically, you could be a fan across the board, but I think that realistically, his back work, or I mean, no pun intended, but the work he's done on the back end has been, you know, nothing short of ridiculous when it comes to all the things he was accused of doing. And for that, I can understand, you know, why so many people are just, you know, pushed away from most of his music. But you do, like you said, on like realistically, when nobody's looking, Kales had them joints, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of hard to get away from that, especially, you know, we all from Chicago. So, you know, you grew up with Kales.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
I remember times seeing R. Kelly in the subway singing for pennies, you know, for change. Like, I don't know if anybody, I mean, I know I might be dating myself here, but I remember, because I ain't had no car, I was on the subway all the time, and he would be down. You could catch him down there like during rush hour after work, 4:30, 5 o'clock, just singing his heart out. You know what I mean? No piano, no instrumentation, just a bucket for the money, and he would just be down there singing. He would grab his bucket, grab his coat, and move on to
and
the
get it
next
in.
thing. And at the time, you saw a lot of those guys, and you still see a lot of those guys.
Oh yeah,
in the subways of New York City and in Chicago, obviously. But at the time, nobody knew he was going to be an international superstar. You know what I mean?
Man,
nobody knew he was going to be an international perv.
no, hey, right.
Nobody knew. Nobody saw this coming.
No. But yeah, I mean, absolutely no one saw it coming.
Yeah,
but it came.
Yeah,
No pun intended, but it came, and
it sure did.
It was a lot of work, and it was a lot of grief and heartache for a lot of fans out here. But at the end of the day, man, that dude still drops bangers, and for him to be able to do that from prison,
woo,
bro.
Yeah, and I guess he just had to remind him. And it's funny because we talked about the industry, what the industry is going to allow him to put some stuff out. The industry is going to allow him to do this or that.
Yeah.
Guess what?
They allow
artists don't need the industry like they used to.
No, that's real talk though. If you really think about it, man. I mean, for him to be able to really put that in play over the phone from prison.
Over the phone.
Dude, that is, I mean, you don't need, what do we need you for? Like with the streaming, the streaming platforms and all these different, avenues of social media that you can produce your music through and pump your music through.
All you need is somebody who's handy with a laptop and
that's it.
And who's savvy with putting your stuff out there, and the work will do the rest. I'll cite an example. Tory Lanez actually released an album from prison, and people are saying that it is magical, and you can get all the tracks, you can get everything. And Tory Lanez was one of those guys originally who started going away from mainstream labels and going to NFTs and online stuff and streaming. He was one of the first artists who started that, and a lot of people say that's why his ass.
That's why he's in prison. Yeah,
because he not only was he doing it, but he was instructing others how to do it. And one thing is for certain: the music business ain't gonna lose no money. They gonna figure out a way just not to lose no money. That's why Kels wrote that song like, "Hey, what my residuals?
My residuals.
My residuals at people. You can see. You can't give it to me. You ain't putting nothing on my books. You ain't putting nothing on my commissary.
Like seriously, like dude. But I mean. That's fire. I mean, that dude, he still got it, man.
He still got it. It still sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've seen this one. Before I get to that, I got to mention our sponsor, Big Don's Collection.
Yes, sir.
It's actually our brother, my man Shadi, a.k.a. Big Tank. I see you.
Yes,
Put this on everything, dog. I still got 6 bottles, and I'm about to put in an order for some more because summertime is coming, and I'm out on this grill. Skull, man, let me tell you, the other day, I took some extra large, boneless chicken breast. I stuffed them with cheese and some other stuff, mushrooms.
I knew you was going to go there. Yeah.
Then I balled it up, and I wrapped it in bacon.
Oh, my God. Dude.
Wrap those bad boys in bacon. Let them sit in the fridge. It's about the size of your fist. Let it sit in the fridge overnight. Put those bad boys on the Weber. Put them on there. Get that bacon crispy on your grill plate. Take them off the grill plate. Let them simmer and put that smoke flavor, the smoked chips in there. Do that for about 45 minutes and see what happened to you. Somebody called me when I took my first bite. I was like, You slathered that bad boy with Big Don's while it's still cooking?
Man, listen. Like, dude.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm going to leave the recipe in the comments for y'all to check it out. But, man, that's that thing right there. Big Don's. At Big Don's Collection, all social media. At Big Don's Collection on all social media. You'll find it. You'll find the website. It's easy to order. It's timely. They send it quick. And they also have all sorts of paraphernalia now. They got caps and aprons and some seasonings, and it's all themed after our parents. Big Don is our dad, our mom Nana, Jean, Regina. The seasonings are and you know what's funny, man, when I'm cooking with it, I can smell Mama kitchen.
Yeah, which is crazy.
when you sprinkle that stuff in your food and it's almost like mama in the kitchen. So it's a really great story, but more than that, it's an excellent product. Y'all check out Big Don's Collection at Big Don's Collection on all social media platforms, online. Search it, you'll find it, order it. Tell Shadid I said what up. All right, I'm sure you've seen the head bop heard around the world.
Listen, man.
The head bop heard around the world. Talk to me. What did you see?
I saw a lot. That's what I was. You saw two young ladies running around the track.
Right.
And what looked to be at first glance, I mean, I think that when you go back and you really look at it over and over and over,
right,
you analyze the situation, you realize that the young lady could have possibly tripped and the momentum led her forward. Now, first reaction to seeing it, first time, it looks like flat out she was frustrated. she took a bite out of crime, and she made sure that shorty wouldn't go get up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, she went straight to the streets with it, but then watching it over and over and over, it's like, man, hold up. All right, Joe, she might have accidentally tripped, because you could see her kind of, going forward, a momentum leading her forward, and then eventually the wand coming across the back of the head.
Right.
But then her trying to balance and catch herself. Because I think when you're running track or you're doing any sport, there's a lot of time when you're running into somebody else's lane, or there's a situation like playing ball. You're going up and down the court, and you cross paths, and you cross, your feet cross, and you lose momentum. And
I get that.
So, and after watching it a few times, I think the young lady accidentally hit her, because she actually looked like she wanted to stop and go check on her.
All right. So let's go back a little bit. There's a track meet, two high school girls who have, and this is important, they have competed against one another before.
Yes.
They have competed against one another before, so they're very familiar. Well, what happened was one of the young ladies is seen as they make a turn, taking the baton and actually smashing the other competitor in the back of the head as this competitor passes her. But to your point, dog, when you're out there and you're running track, they do, well, especially on those turns, you're almost running shoulder to shoulder with somebody. Yeah. So it's easy to get your arm caught up, trying to, so I see that. This is what I had a problem with. Like you said, at first glance, it looked like you hit that girl in the back of her head. But then when you see the young lady responsible for the injury, for the concussion, she said, oh yeah, y'all just see that she got hurt and she physically hurt, but y'all not thinking about me. Y'all not thinking about my mental. When I first saw this, I fell out. Look at this.
So you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental, right? They're going off of one angle. A couple times hitting her, my baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit. I know my intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose. They're assuming my character, calling me ghetto, racist slurs, death threats, all of this.
So, I mean, she's trying to explain it. She's trying to explain it there, but you can see in the video.
Dude, I don't want to laugh, because it's I think I've got a daughter, so I get it, and it's frustrating. And as a parent, you probably want to jump out of the stands and go full, Warren Sapp and football tackle the young lady, because you really don't know.
Right.
But to be out there as a competitor and to be on that track, man, these are high school girls, so they're not really familiar with technique, right? They actually learn that a little bit more as they go into college, and then they pursue it even further.
I agree with that.
So, her response was natural, because she's like, dude, I didn't do anything.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
it's debatable. It's debatable, dog. I know. See what you're saying. You want to give her the benefit. You want to give her the benefit.
I'm trying.
I think that this girl done beat her a couple times, probably beat her in a couple track meets, beat the brakes off of her, beat her like she stole something, and she just couldn't take it no more. And she saw this girl coming up out of her peripheral. She saw her coming up, and then she took the little bump. She took that as an excuse to say, "Oh, I've had it." Bow.
No, and if that's the case, God
I think she
bless,
did.
man.
But for her to say, how y'all
Man.
gonna blame me for what I did? It's just funny to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that mentality. How y'all gonna blame me? I see, I hit her, but what about me? What?
Exactly. Like,
So
and then
that's just what I just think that's hilarious, man.
Dude, it's the whole situation. Like the first time I saw it, bro, I ain't gonna front. I was like, damn. Okay. All right, we on that type shit. We going to, because you've seen the videos of young men out there playing basketball and cats trying to go for layups and dudes just coming out of nowhere, just straight
jig
I'm Ron Artesting everybody up out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, world be free, you about to hit the flow. And so I thought that was one of those situations, man, but I don't know. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
I will say this to people who are lighting into this girl and her family on social media, that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
The young lady who got hit, she's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay. The young lady who swung the baton, I'm sure she's learned her lesson. I'm sure that was a moment's reaction. You know, if it was intentional, it was just a momentary reaction, a flex. And so everybody needs to bring the temperature down on it just a little bit, because again, these are young women, and the racial slurs and some of the nasty names that they're calling her online are totally unnecessary. So, you know, if you don't got nothing good to say, like my mama say, just be quiet.
Just be quiet.
Just be quiet. All right, we're gonna wrap it up for another edition of TIP. How the interesting part is, Osco.
Yes, sir.
Minute left. You got anything you want to add?
Man, for everybody out there in the world, you know, give love.
Give love.
Let's stop with the hate, man. Let's stop with the nonsense. I know we got people out here that just want to blow up for nothing. I need everybody to just slow it down, calm it down. And just realize that everything's gonna be all right.
All right. Shout out to the Northside Clique.
Yes, sir.
Especially Juliet, who was in the
Juliet, get better, baby.
We got to send you some love, baby. Get better soon.
Yes.
We love you like crazy. We hope to see you up and about again real soon.
Yes.
For Osco, I'm the loud Zany K. It's T.I.P.I. bitch.
Our history is like two iconic breaking ground, making history in separate ways.
Now I already gave you the keys to the game, Hall of Fame, and you know the name. Reverend Simon's been getting millions, ain't none changed, but the flow's the same. Wrist on frozen, flow so chosen, school so old, but the OG coasting. New York toasting, LA slowsing, G's in the D and the ballers in Boston. Hollers to Nostrin, parties I host them. Ball to a fall, so you know it's gon' coast them. Run gon' post them, rip them up, toast them. Out to the can, cause they rubbish and I'm roast them. Flow like the ocean, down in the coastin'. Drying rappers out to the nigga need lotion. I got the potion to keep you engrossed and dance to my beat, keep your feet in the motion.